In this video, we're going to learn how to simplify square roots that are not perfect squares. I'm going to start with an example of the square root of 45. Now, there is no perfect square of 45, but we can simplify this by taking the perfect square that is in 45 out. There is a factor of 9 in 45. So we can use our product rule, and we can say the square root of 45 equals the square root of 9 times the square root of 5, because 9 times 5 equals 45. And then we can say the square root of 9 equals 3, and we leave the 5 under the square root symbol because there is no perfect square in the 5. And we are finished. 3 times the square root of 5 equals the square root of 45. Now you can take your calculator and you can take 3 square root of 5, hit enter, and get a decimal approximation for this 3 square root of 5. You can also go back in and put in the square root of 45, and you will get the same decimal approximation, so that will be a helpful way to check your work. Now let's try another one. We're going to do the square root of 80. And some students might break this apart and go, well, I know that the square root of 8 times the square root of 10 gives me the square root of 80, because 8 times 10 is 80. Well, that's true, but we do not end up with any perfect squares that we can pull out from under the radical sign. So this really doesn't help us in solving this and simplifying the square root of 80. So this isn't going to work. Let's try something else. If we look at the square root of 80, we know that there is a square root of 4 in there. So square root of 4 times the square root of 20 will give me the square root of 80, right? Because 4 times 20 equals 80. And then we know that the square root of 4 is 2, so our answer will be 2 square root of 20. However, I will tell you that we are not finished with this problem, because we still have a perfect square in the square root of 20. Now, if you check the problem in your calculator like we did up here, you will find that 2 square root of 20 is the same decimal approximation as the square root of 80. But since we have not taken out all the perfect squares in the square root of 20, we are not finished. Okay, so in the square root of 20, there is a square root of 4 times the square root of 5, right? So 4 times 5 is 20. Square root of 4 is 2, so it's going to be 2, and this is all multiplication, so it's 2 times 2 square root of 5, which gives us the correct answer of 4 square root of 5. And if you put this in your calculator, you will get that same decimal number that you got for 2 square root of 20 and that you got for square root of 80. Now let me show you a simpler way actually to do this problem. The square root of 80 actually equals the square root of 16 times the square root of 5. Because 16 times 5 is 80. Well, the square root of 16 is 4. And of course the 5 needs to stay under the radical sign, and we get the same answer, and we do it a little quicker because we don't have these extra steps. So if you can recognize the largest perfect square in the number, it'll make it a little easier. Either way is fine, you still get the same answer.